Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, whatever time of day it is that you're watching this. This is Amanda. Welcome to my channel. And we're going to be doing a twin flame love reading today. It is a continuation of a series of readings that I've done for twin flames on my channel over a couple of years now. And every time I do one, the same questions come up from people that maybe might not understand the energy of it. I was about to say concept, but you see, it's not a concept. One of you on my channel yesterday, when I just asked for questions, you sort of said, well, I'm not sure I'm really into that. And the thing is, it's not about being into it or not into it. It's to do with, it's either an energy strand that you resonate with and that is part of your path, or it isn't. And I've said all this before on previous videos, but if you're watching this and you don't understand the twin flame energy, then you can, of course, continue to watch. I would maybe suggest that you watch it in terms of trying to come to an understanding of the masculine and feminine energy at play generally in the collective, because that's what we're really looking at, as well as within yourself. Because again, another question that always comes up is, surely this twin flame journey is actually about integrating the masculine and feminine within ourselves rather than it looking for it externally. And the thing is, it's what I always say to that is it's not either or, it's both. The external manifestation comes as a result of the inner work. If that's part of your timeline, if that's what you've signed up to, if you're meant to reunite in this lifetime. Because the point is with twin flame energy is you've known this soul over and over again through many incarnations, which is why when you see them for the first time in this life, there can be a real sort of jaw-dropping moment, or there is a moment of realization that comes where the veils just get taken away and you actually see who they are. And absolutely it is a journey. So it's not always just about the final destination, as i.e. union in this lifetime, because you're never actually separate from them. So many people, and I was reading through all of your comments, thank you very much, last night that came in, because you knew I was going to do this, are talking about dreams in the astral, where you are having a very real connection and relationship with this soul, even though you may not physically be with them. They're coming into your dream state. They are in they're in your heart. They're in your mind. They're part of you, basically. So it's this thing about never really being able to walk away, because they are part of you. I personally don't subscribe to the thing about it being one soul that's been split into two. I don't think there is such a thing as split souls. I think we are all individual expressions of God. But what I have always been shown is that people that identify as twin flames, when God effectively split into, well, not split, but God sent out many different facets and aspects of himself, herself into the universe, then your twin flame was sort of shot out of the canon, as it were, at the same time as you, probably within the same split second as you. And if you think about the millions and billions of souls that there are on this planet, including not just humans, but animals as well, and any other life form, then actually it's quite something to have been shot out of the canon, as it were, the canon of love by God at the exact same moment. And so therefore you do this dance through many different lifetimes and eternity. You are always connected to them. So it's quite a deep journey, and it isn't something that is just like, can I have a piece of that? Do I resonate with it? Don't I? You either remember in this lifetime or you don't, but it doesn't mean that you can't have access to the most amazing love. There are many different forms of love. There are many different forms of love in this universe, and it's a human being that puts hierarchy on that, which is that one type of love is better than another. I do this work because I do believe in the twin flame energy, and I'm also trying to help people understand it, and get as much from the learning and the opportunity that it presents. Okay, so as I say, we're going to go into this. We're going to have a look at what the masculine and feminine energies are doing at this moment in time on our planet, linked into the twin flame thing. What else did I want to say? I think I'll just get into it. I was initially going to do this reading for the Gemini full moon that's coming up on the 22nd of May, which just feels, again, another big window to look at twin flame energy. But to be honest, it felt quite urgent to do it before that. So I feel as though this is setting the scene for the Gemini full moon, okay? I'm going to use a number of different decks, and I want to do it in a slightly different way. So I'm going to pull some animal cards in terms of what the animal energy is between the two of you, but equally what the animal would be that represents the masculine and the feminine. I'm obviously going to pull some cards linked into the state of play in terms of the connection. And we're just going to see how it goes. I've got some colour energies here to support us. Quite interesting, the colour energies, because the obvious one for me to get for today is to link into the sacral energy, because there's a lot happening with regard to the sacral energy. That is a sort of, it's called Tangerine blush in this, in the range that I sell. But what interested me more than the fact that I picked up the sacral chakra as being as activating and as having something to say is that I wanted to put it with the midnight indigo. Now those of you that understand the colours and the energies that I work with on this channel, midnight indigo is the one which is about venturing into the shadow side of our being, being brave enough to look into the darkness, into the void, and to bring something beautiful from that. Indeed, creation is created from the void. It seems to flow very beautifully in from the work that I'm doing at the moment on duality as well. So far I've been talking about duality just in terms of mainly good and bad, light and dark. But of course another aspect to duality is of course masculine and feminine. So yeah, so anyway, we're going to bring some colour energies in. And I've got my Gustav Klimt there. That's actually a jigsaw that I bought at Christmas. And of course I haven't even unwrapped the box, but it feels very in sync with the energy at play here. We all know this beautiful piece of art, okay, which is The Kiss by Gustav Klimt. The point about it today is I felt like I needed its energy here. And it seems to be something linked into almost like the Sleeping Beauty type energy. You know, the kiss that revives. And I do feel as though there's a lot happening with the divine feminine at the moment in terms of her waking up to her true beauty, her true worth, her true sensuality, sexuality, which is why there's a lot going on within the sacral chakra. It's as though the divine feminine has been sleeping for a while, to be perfectly honest, and has been lying quite dormant in terms of the innate power that she has within her. And she is re-remembering. And the thing is, it's not the old story of sort of Sleeping Beauty or Prince Charming where he's the one that revives her. I mean, in a way he does. But what she's done is she's brought through the equal balance of male and female within her to bring him back into her energy field. Does that make sense? Because the fairy tale is always like, you know, he rides in on this white horse to save her, you know, bring her back to life with the kiss. But the thing is, what this is saying is actually she is the one that summoned him energetically, because he was able to pick up on her growing I just want to say beauty, her growing beauty. And it was like this magnetic pull that brought them back together. And it was a dance between these two energies. So I think that's, I don't know, there's something in that. I wouldn't be surprised, those of you that obviously know that spirit talks to us via signs, you're probably going to end up seeing this painting. You know, it's just going to come into your being over the next couple of weeks leading up to the new moon in Gemini, maybe. Or maybe it's actually an image and a painting to meditate on, that and see what it brings up for you. What does that bring up? Does it bring up, I'm hearing here, you see, because I channel people, and the last person I channeled was John Denver. So I'm hearing the song by John, which is Sweet Surrender. Do you see Sweet Surrender in this? A surrendering to the flow, a surrendering to the heart, a surrendering to destiny, a surrendering to what is meant to be will be, a surrendering to allowing life to bring you what it needs to bring you when it's meant to bring you. Okay, so surrender is about completely and utterly letting go of all control. And I feel as though the surrendering of control is, when you talk about twin flame, it's both. It's masculine and feminine needing to let go of control. But obviously as a feminine myself, I'm very aware that's one of the things that I'm being called to work on at the moment, to let go of I've talked about this in my other videos, of the more masculine grip that sometimes I have within my energy of trying to control situations. Need to let that go. But equally, it also applies to the collective feminine as well. It's not just me. But there will be aspects of that which the masculine is supposed to be doing as well. So this thing about Sweet Surrender, I just think maybe that's a song to go and listen to, because I can hear it in my mind, in my ears as I'm talking to you. So let's pull some cards. I've got this beautiful picture here as well, 2 visual representations. So we've got the kiss, and this was the one, I've shown this before on one of the videos I've done linked into the subject I won't say, or this video will get demonetized, but hey, the world we live in. Swans in Venice. The waters in Venice being clearer because obviously all the tourists aren't there, and the boats aren't polluting the waterways, and the animals are coming back to Venice. And I just love this picture. I printed this out a few weeks ago, and it still stayed with me, the 2 swans, because swans basically they mate for life. Nothing can and they don't look for another, basically. So anyway, let's get to it. Before I pull some cards, 2 cards already had come out today. I was just shuffling the decks that I was going to use, and I noted with interest that 2 cards came out linked into protection. Okay, we've got the Black Panther, and then we've got this card as well, which has a more angelic feel to it. This card is from the Spirit Animal Wisdom deck by Katie Jane Wright. I'll put all the boxes below, and I'll put all the details below in the description box. And this card is from the Universal Oracle cards, but I'm not even sure this one is still in production. But it's by Christina Georgieva, if she still does them. Okay, so 2 cards, both with the same message: protection. What that said to me, what I instinctively got from that, is that actually this connection is divinely protected. And I think if you can really accept that in terms of wherever you are with your other, whether you are apart from them, whether you have no contact with them, whatever the situation is, if there is an understanding that this connection is divinely protected, I think it brings in a degree of peace, which is that the divine basically knows what it's doing. The divine doesn't step in to protect something that isn't worth protecting. But also the other image I got in my mind's eye when I thought about protection was I was shown the image of a bird basically sitting on its nest. And it protects that nest, obviously. And indeed it protects the nest actually until the chicks are, adult enough to fly away. See, that's another John Denver song. You see, John Denver, there's a twin flame energy with John Denver. And again, it's quite interesting with John because his story, he was married twice. It wasn't just the romantic fairy tale. There was a lot of difficulties within his relationships, but particularly that, maybe I shouldn't say actually, one of the wives, I know there was a twin flame energy. And I'm not going to say which because I think both of the women are still alive, and I don't think that's fair, but I'm hearing one of them was a twin flame energy, but that doesn't mean that everything goes smoothly. Anyway, sorry, John's song, Fly Away, the chicks in the nest, protection. It's as though the divine is watching over this nest of what is about to be birthed, and then the And I do think that is, for some, is physical union, even though I know union isn't the end goal for everybody, but for some it is going to happen. And the divine is watching over this nest, it's watching over this incubation period, and it will also watch over the period post-birth as well, okay, so post-union. It's like anything, if you bring something into the world or back to the world, then it doesn't just get abandoned once the energy can walk, as it were, all right? So protection, I thought, was beautiful to see. Okay, now I'm just wondering which deck to go to here. Let's start with the Psychic Tarot of the Heart by John Holland. Let's just pull some cards from here, okay? It's a very warm, muggy day here. Hot. But then again, it's like the temperature is hot in terms of this reading as well. It's actually, things are heating up, I'm hearing. Things are heating up. Things have gone past simmering point. So, you know, things are nearly cooked. Right, let's see what we're going to get. I'm just going to pull 3 general cards at the moment, and then we'll look individually at masculine and feminine. Let's just have a look at where the energy is, please. Release. We're at a rebirth phase. This is complete and utter rebirth. And I love the depiction of this in this deck. I love also that we've got control on the bottom of the pack. Brilliant. How brilliant is that? We are, you are, releasing control. Okay, this is a rebirth in terms of I am letting go of control. I am letting go of the way that I think things should be. I'm letting go of the way that you know, it needs to play out. It is this surrender in terms of I don't actually know how this is going to work out. I don't have all the answers. I'm not meant to have all the answers. There's meant to be mystery to this. There's meant to be the divine that comes in and leads the way, but that doesn't mean you haven't got a part to play as well. It's just really about letting go of control. It's sweet surrender. It's sweet surrender. I think I'm gonna have to look up the lyrics of that song, Sweet Surrender. Look at this. I mean, this is like it's like I'm bearing my soul is what this feels like. You know, I'm showing my heart to you. I am showing you who I am. I am showing you who I have become. I'm showing you who I am now. I'm showing you that my heart has always actually been with you. And I'm letting go of this rigid energetic form, which is that, you know, somehow this happens in terms of a very linear A, B, C, D, E way, where every single answer is ticked off and I know exactly what's going to happen. I have no idea how this is going to happen, but I do know it's happening. The other card that comes in, I'll take this one as well, as the card of balance, you see. So this, we've got the masculine and the feminine energy coming into a more balanced energy within their heart. Very beautiful, very beautiful. I'm going to have to look up these lyrics because I just can't get them out. I can't get that song out of my head now. Let's just see what the lyrics say. Those of you that watch me know that we often get given lyrics, particularly by my guide, Archangel Metatron. Okay, it's quite a long song. I'm just trying to see what's the relevant bits. I mean, it's all relevant. Which bit shall I read out? Let's just read it from the start. Hey little fella, get your show together. I was listening in before, but now I don't care no more. Look around now. It's always that. It's gonna get you down. Oh, that's weird. I was thinking, this doesn't sound like John Denver. I'm looking at Wet, 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 Sweet Surrender. There's another song by a band called Wet, Wet, Wet. That's not the song. You probably saw, I was reading it thinking, Sweet Surrender, that's not the one. It's not the right song. You've got to get the right song. Nothing wrong with the Wet, Wet, Wet song, but that's not the one. Here we go. John Denver, lost and alone on some forgotten highway, travelled by many, remembered by few, looking for something that I can believe in, looking for something that I'd like to do with my life. There's nothing behind me and nothing that ties me to something that might have been true yesterday. Tomorrow is open, and right now it seems to be more than enough. To be here today, and I don't know what the future is holding in store. I don't know where I'm going. I'm not sure where I've been. There's a spirit that guides me, a light that shines for me. My life is worth the living. I don't need to see the end. Sweet, sweet surrender. Live, live without care. Like a fish in the water, like a bird in the air. Sweet, sweet surrender. Live, live without care. Like a fish in the water, like a bird in the air. Like a swan in the water. Yeah, okay. That's our song then, okay? We've got our song. We've been given our song. That's our homework. Go and listen to that beautiful song. Right, so those are our three general energies, okay? Rebirth, I'm showing the world who I am. I'm exposing my heart. I am coming into balance with my heart in terms of my masculine energies and my feminine energies. I'm letting go of control. I have realised actually control gets me nowhere. Having said that, it did once get me somewhere, okay? It did once get me somewhere. It served me in some way, but I don't need it anymore. Okay, let's have a look at the masculine and feminine energies. And I would quite like to pull an animal card at this point. Let's just see what the animals want to say. I want like a animal totem, please, that sums up where the divine masculine is at this moment in time. Show me where the divine masculine energy is at this time, please. Show me where the divine masculine energy is. The spider. That's actually a really powerful animal totem. The spider is the dream weaver. Spider is the dream weaver. It says, tune into the energetic grids around you. Where can you send your energy for healing? The spider is the one that creates a beautiful web, basically, okay? So that's the spider. Let's just see where, and the dream weaver, you see the divine masculine's coming very much into dream state, very much into dream state. I'm just going to laugh, make you laugh here, because Boris Johnson is obviously not my twin flame, okay? But those of you that follow my work, you know we've done some work with Boris, okay? And it was all to do with he nearly died, and I believe there's been a change of consciousness within this guy, okay? It's like he's gone from a very patriarchal energy, which was the old masculine energy, to a newer, fresher masculine energy. He's not, done all of it yet, but he's on the path to that. He keeps coming into my dream state. It's like I've got this connection with him, whether I like it or not, because, I've said before, I wasn't a big Boris fan before. This isn't a political thing that I'm saying. Last night's dream was, because he was in my dream, this is the thing about the spider, they're in your dreams, because he's representative. In a way, Boris is representative of what's going on with the masculine psyche out there, that it's in flux, it's in transition, it's in change. So Boris comes into my dream, and we were clearing up from a workshop. He was helping me clear up from a workshop, some sort of spiritual workshop I'd done. And I was getting into a bit of a grump because everybody had left all of the washing up for me to do, and people were just sort of flinging their dirty plates down, and I was having to clear it all up. And he came in to help me. And then he said to me in this dream, he said, the thing is, Amanda, he said, I really just want to sit and read poetry. But he was deadly serious about it. He was like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. I just really want to sit and read poetry. And I looked into his eyes in this dream, and it was like, my God, yeah, you do, don't you? You do. So, I actually feel as though I'm not sure he's going to be able to carry on in this role that he's got in the material world for that much longer in terms of politics, because I knew what he was basically saying in this dream, his heart wasn't in it anymore. It was like he didn't want to play that game anymore. Poetry just seemed to be an analogy for artistic, creative, softer, feminine energies. It's this sort of thing. So I found that really quite interesting. But anyway, yes, definitely lots of masculines coming into astral and into dream state. And I will just read out here some of your comments that came in yesterday. I don't know whether I can find it. There was a really good one. Here we go. This is from, sorry, I haven't got my glasses on, guys. I can't read your name. Anyway, but I can read what you say. You say, as far as my twin flame and myself, it's going well. You see, this is interesting because this particular person's twin flame has actually passed over. This is the whole thing that I'm trying to get through. It's not just about physical union in this lifetime. It's about understanding the dynamics. The dynamics. This is an eternal love. You can never get separated from your twin flame. It's eternal. So she says, I assume it's a she, might be a male. As far as my twin flame and myself, it's going well. He's in spirit. I found him when he passed over 4 years ago. I dream with him, astral travel with him, and talk to him daily. I absolutely love our relationship. It's been quite a growing journey with him. It's not always been comfortable, but our love is enduring and strong. He has shown me past lives with him during meditation. And you then go on to say something else. But I love that, because who's to say that that is not real? I totally believe that's real. What I think is interesting is that we're opening up more and more to understanding that the physical reality that we understand in terms of, I'm sitting here now on this chair at this physical desk, I'm about to take a glug of water. I understand that reality. But there are all sorts of other realities out there. We're growing into our multidimensional selves. And at a multidimensional level, you understand that you are also living in other dimensions. And one of the dimensions that you're living in is the astral realm, which is why we can have these experiences where it's like, my God, you were in my dream the other day and you said this, you did this. And rather than dismissing it as like, oh, well, that was just imagination or a bit of cheese that I ate the previous night. No, it's not. It's actually physically happening, particularly when, as that lady said, it's like, it's not just a one-off, it's a continuation of a dance that's being done by two souls that cannot be separated because one of them is on earth and the other one has passed over. But equally, you can also be having this very direct and honest communication with your divine counterpart in dream state. And you need to take notice of what's happening in dream state, because the spider, the masculine here, what he's basically saying is that I'm weaving our new reality together, and I'm coming back. It's like he's coming back via this web that he is creating energetically in astral. And that makes sense, because say you've been separated from somebody for a while and you don't know what the other person thinks or feels, or even if they still care. I mean, ultimately you do know that they still care because you can feel it. But of course the mind kicks in and says, well, I haven't heard from them for a while. Maybe they don't care anymore. Maybe it was all in my mind. So what happens is in astral, what the masculine has been doing, because the masculine energy is a doing energy, is they are creating this web, effectively, which isn't a trap, a web. When you look at a spider's web, it is beautiful. Have you ever seen a spider's web in the morning with all the dew? It looks like diamonds are falling off it. It's a pathway. Thank you, Metatron. He's saying use the pathway. It's a better way to describe it. It's a pathway whereby the hearts can connect in dream state, but equally it's a pathway back to each other. But it's the masculine energy that's weaving that. I think that's really beautiful. You're never going to look at a spider web in the same way again. I also want to put this with the masculine energy as well. It's quite funny. It's the dog. Okay, it was the one on the bottom of the pack. I'm hearing for some masculine energies, they feel as though they're literally in the doghouse with the feminine. It's like, oh my God, if I did come back again, or if I did communicate again, am I in the doghouse? Literally, it's like, am I in the doghouse? I'm hearing that. Well, only you can answer that question, basically. And obviously, if you're after any form of reconciliation or reconnection, then you need to let go of anything that's been done in the past, anything that's been said, anything that you feel aggrieved by, anything that needs to be forgiven. Okay, this is the thing about the twin flame energy. It's based on unconditional love. Well, if you are attempting to master unconditional love, you're going to get some tests along the way. Of course you are. How can you say I unconditionally love somebody if you haven't been tested? If you've just had a lifetime whereby everything has been, there's been no reason to even question them. There's been no reason there's been no reason to question them, basically, okay? So this is like, am I in the doghouse? But the other thing, of course, about the dog is that dogs are very, very faithful. They're very loyal. So there's a loyalty here that comes with the spider and the dog. The other thing that strikes me about these two is that I know obviously spiders and dogs are creatures that can live outside and operate outside as well. But the thing I'm feeling here is they also feel very domestic. There's a thing here about spiders are within your home, dogs are within your home. There's something very domestic and homely about this energy with the divine masculine is what I'm picking up here. And the other thing that's so sweet, and anybody that's got a dog knows this, the dog is always glad to see you, okay? The dog is always glad to see you. You know, whatever day you've had, the dog is always there, you know, like jumping up and down, excited to see you. So this feels as though it's like the divine masculine. Whatever else is going on, there's an energy here of, I'm looking forward to you coming home. How beautiful is that? I'm looking forward to being at home with you. Okay, those that are in separation, I'm looking forward to being at home with you. I'm looking forward to you coming home. Home is you and me together. You are home and I am home. It's that natural. It's that, it is just what it is. It is that. And of course, some of you that are already in union with your twin flame, you know, and you might have been for years, you know, hopefully there are people like that are watching me as well. You know, how lucky are you that you've got this energy within your home? Okay, let's see where the divine feminine is now. I knew there was a reason why I had to use these animal cards today. I love the way this is going. Let's just see what we get. So, for the divine feminine, let's see where she is. Can we please have an animal energy that shows where the divine feminine is? The llama. Okay, I know nothing about llamas whatsoever, but I'll show you the card. It says soul growth. It says, growth is never easy. Have faith and trust in the journey. Okay, llama. I actually feel as though I need to read the description which goes with that because, you know, have I ever met a llama? I'm not even sure I've ever met one. So I'm struggling in terms of what to say about a llama. But let's just see what the person that created this deck says, if I can find the page. Llama. Interestingly, llama is the last card in the whole deck. It's the last page of the book. So I almost feel as though there's a message there before I even read the message, which is that the divine feminine is feeling as though I've read the whole book now. You know, I've worked through all of the stages. I have grown hugely in terms of soul growth. There's been huge soul growth. I'm actually ready to close this particular book and move on to the next one in the series with you, you know, with you. What is the next book in the series? The next book in the series, this feels like a book where she's felt quite alone. She's been working through it on her own. The next book is sort of like, okay, now let's have a look at what happens with you and me more connected. Anyway, let's just see. Llama. The element of llama is linked into the earth. It says, llamas are amazingly tough. Remember, this is about the divine feminine. Llamas are amazingly tough and resilient. They're native to Central and South America. They can live on arid mountain tops and barren tundra. Growth is about persevering and adapting to change. Don't be in a hurry to get to your destination. It's all about the journey. Have trust and faith in your path. There are many lessons to learn. Llamas are loving, social, intelligent, and curious animals. Oh, good. I'm glad. Are they the ones that spit also? Or is that camel? I think camels spit, don't they? Llamas, I think, have got another side to them, which is like, you know, we're not just soft and cuddly. Which again is part of the reason why it's like the male is like, oh gosh, you know, this is a creature that is quite complex and has a lot to it, and it's like, you know, is she going to, you know, spew some venom my way? Well, no, not if you've done the work. You're not going to do that. They are easily trained and can change their demeanour if too heavy a load is put on them. Yeah, that's sort of what I was just saying. You know, don't push them too far. Okay, that's quite nice. I like that. Let's pull one more then. We've got two for the divine masculine. Let's pull another one for the divine feminine. What goes with llama? I love the way also with the llama, can you see it's in a pair? That there's a pair. Ultimately, she knows she's one of two. Something about mountains as well here, the mountains in the background, reaching the summit. You know, that the feminine is able to reach the summit. She's able to keep on going. She's also able to, some feminines have actually feel like they've reached the end of the book, they're at the summit. And from the summit, you're actually able to take a higher perspective view. And I'm being shown here some of these feminines on the top of the mountain, the summit, and they're just watching the journey of the masculine back up to the top of the summit to join her, with no judgment in terms of come on, hurry up, just in terms of he's on his way. That's what I'm feeling with that. Okay, let's have one more card then for the feminine. Koi carp, abundance. Abundance. Move with the flow of abundance around and through you. Okay. Put them together, you've got a soul growth of abundance. Okay, so let's just leave those two out. I'm going to pull some cards now from a deck which is the Universal Oracle cards. These are tiny, tiny cards, but they're brilliant. I really like using these. Let's pull one card now for the masculine. Show me where the masculine is with regards to these, and then we're going to do a block. Balance. So the masculine is about trying to come back into balance at the moment. Okay, coming back into balance. Working on balance. At the end of the day, remember the spider web analogy, the labyrinth, the pathway that is being created. It can't be one-sided. It needs to be, in terms of a web is basically a piece of sacred geometry. Sacred geometry needs to be balanced. Okay, so the card of balance, it also says, what does it say? It says harmony, equilibrium and equality. I also think that word equality is quite important for the masculine. It's as though he's starting to realise that this divine feminine is his equal. Okay, I think there might have been an energy whereby he put her down before, or didn't really see who she was, didn't value who she was, didn't recognise who she was, put her bottom of the pile maybe. This card here is showing that he's coming to an awareness of equality, that she is his equal, and indeed she needs to be his equal. It needs to be a connection and a relationship ultimately, if it leads to union, which is to do with two people of equal stature, people who not just love each other but get each other. It's a really silly analogy, but I think it explains it really well, which I don't know why I was even watching this. Was it? Oh, I think it was on YouTube. You know, YouTube just comes up with these suggestions, doesn't it, of what to watch. And it was like a 5-minute thing from something called Date Night, which is a TV programme in the UK where they pair up two unsuspecting, two people who've signed up for a blind date, and then they film it. And there was this lady and the man, and they were so out of sync with each other is the most polite way to put it. Not speaking the same language, totally unequal in terms of everything, to be perfectly honest. And it was cringeworthy. You know, it was like, oh my God, this is just a disaster. That's not what this is, okay? The twin flame energy is two equals coming back together who meet each other in terms of intelligence, in terms of it's mind, body and spirit, basically. It's the whole caboodle, as it were. It's like there's just equality there. So that's the masculine. Let's see about the feminine. Let's see. Oh, no, I'm not going to take all of those because a whole load just jumped out. Just one to start with. I'd just like to see where she is with regard to this twin flame path, please. And then we'll look at the blocks. Universe, she's trusting it. She's trusting the universe, basically. She's on the top of the mountain, waiting, surveying how beautiful the universe is. You know, let's just take the analogy as far as we can, but it is a good analogy. breathing, you know, so having surrendered, having let go of control, knowing that the connection is divinely protected. It's either going to happen or it's not in this lifetime. But even if it doesn't happen in terms of reunion, I know that this person is my twin flame. I know that there is always going to be a connection with them. You know, there is nothing that can change this. And if we're not reunited in this lifetime, we'll reunite after we've passed over, whenever our natural time is for that. But equally, of course, human beings, there's sort of like a hope that, you know, but yeah, I'm sort of waiting that he joins me at the top of this summit. I'm also hearing that the air is quite purified and I wanted to say rarefied, which I don't think is even a word, but I know obviously the air is thinner at the top. So not everybody can withstand the altitude at the top of the mountain. And that again is an analogy for, okay, I'm hearing only the strongest survive. And by survive, I'm talking about getting to the top, you know, reunion. Because I think a lot that is wrong with a lot of twin flame readings online is that it gives an impression that every single person that's watching this video is coming back into union. And I think that's really dangerous because it takes away free will, it takes away soul choice before incarnation, it takes away a lot of different natural laws of the universe that come into play. And so therefore, the summit, having said that, Metatron is saying, he's saying the summit is quite big. He's saying there are different mountains as well. Okay, I'm just being shown one mountain. So it's like this is a first particular wave of people that are meant to be reuniting on the summit, as it were, having done the work in terms of unifying their masculine and feminine, forgiving the past, forgiving whatever needed to be forgiven, ready to move on, ready to surrender, having let go of control, ready to bare their heart, which also implies a degree of vulnerability, because I don't know what you're going to say. I don't know how you feel, but I just have to say this because I can't not anymore. Look at this. He's ripped off. He's ripped off, you know, his shirt. It's like I can't bear. It's like this is a hair shirt that he's been wearing or she has been wearing. It's so uncomfortable. I have to now expose what is within here. So it's like a first wave that gets to the top of this particular mountain. But Metatron is saying there are other mountains on the horizon. This is just the first wave that we're talking about. Okay, let's have a look at where the challenges are then, because of course there will be challenges. Let's see where the challenges are. I'm going to stick with this deck to start with. Before I do that, actually, I'm going to pull a card. I've got the void. Oh no, let's just take that. Let's just take that. Okay, let's just take that. Because I know what I was going to say. What I was going to say is let me have a card to show me the state of the connection and the relationship at the moment between the masculine and the feminine. I've got the void. Now, you might say to that, oh my God, that looks terrible. No, it's not. The void is the place of creation. I said that earlier. But it's also showing, if you look at the card, it talks about a feeling of emptiness. Both parties are feeling empty because they know that something is missing. I feel empty, I feel lonely, I feel unfulfilled, I feel loss, and I feel lack. This is a message for people that are twin flames that are either in separation from each other, and indeed maybe even no contact, no communication. And it's also a message for people who are connected, you know, reunited already, but yet there seems to be a void between you. And what I mean by that is it might just be that you're in a transition to the next phase of your relationship. You can't literally see the future. You can't see the way forward. You've hit a block, basically. You've hit the buffer. You've hit the buffer. But rather than seeing that as a really bad thing, I'm hearing it's a reset button. So for those that are in relationship already with their twin flame, it's like there's something where you've hit the buffer. Or if it's not that, it's definitely to do with you need to go within and you need to go into the darkness to get to the next level in terms of where you're meant to be going with this. That's why I knew I had to bring this midnight indigo in. It is the void, light in the dark. I also think there's something coming up at the moment for both people that are in separation from their twin flame and those that are in connection now and united. There's something coming through to do with wounding coming up from childhood. My camera just went really dark when I said that. Did you see that? Or maybe it was just my eyesight. Suddenly the light's gone weird in my room. How, well, it's perfect if it has. It's looking dark. I might have to put another light on, even though it's a sunny day out there. Wounding from childhood has come up, and it's like mirroring each other. I think many twin flames have got similar things that happened to them in childhood, similar things that happened to them with regard to their parents, and this is the time to help heal it. My camera has gone really dark. I'm going to have to I'll put a light on in a moment. And maybe you can't see it, but I can see it. It's very striking. What is that? It is the dark. Okay, let's spray the midnight indigo. So the void. A recognition of emptiness, a recognition of loneliness. How can you move on from anything that is dissatisfactory, anything that has had its time, if you don't recognise the dysfunctionality within it? And I think this is something linked into people that are with karmic partners still, who are separated from their twin flame. How can you reconnect with your twin flame if you're in a karmic relationship that is not working, if you don't acknowledge the fact that it's not working, and actually that you're stumbling around in the dark and you're literally trying to find the light switch, is what I'm being told. You're trying to find the light switch to make it all okay. But actually Spirit have taken out all the light switches because you're not meant to be in that room. You're not meant to be with that person. You're meant to be, I'm going to put a proviso on that. You're not meant to be with that person assuming that all of the karmic lessons have been processed and gone through. You can't jump ship until you've reached the natural end of a karmic relationship, because that's not right. And it's also not right to be, unfaithful and all of that type of stuff. I'm not condoning any of that. I'm talking about, I'm being shown being in a room, stumbling around in the dark, trying to find the light. There isn't a light switch that you're meant to switch on there because you're meant to be vacating the room, because actually what was once there is no longer there. Okay. That's what I'm feeling with that. But I was talking about wounding from childhood as well. So have a look at that. Have a look at that. I am going to put a light on if you don't mind, because it's slightly disturbing me that I feel like I'm in the dark here. But I realise Spirit are just playing their games. Might not even look any different for you, but it does for me. Hold on, just pause. And somebody said the other day when I do my videos and I go off camera for 30 seconds, I always worry, like, oh my God, everyone's just going to switch off. But the point is, they said, no, it gives us a chance just to centre and think about what has just been said. So can you just centre and think about what's just been said? 30 seconds, I'm going to put the light back on. But it's almost like the light gets put on and it's like we're in a different space. We're not in that dark room anymore, forcing it. We're moving out into a lighter area where we're meant to be. Let's go and put the light on. Bang, crash, wallop. There we go. Yeah, that feels a bit better. I can see you now. Okay. Let's just pull one more card. Do I need another? No, I don't need another card on State of the Cut. No, that's it. Okay. Let's have a look at the blocks. What is the main block or challenge that the Divine Masculine is working on at the moment in time? What's the main block or challenge that the Divine Masculine is working on at this time? Manifest. He's struggling to manifest what he wants. He's struggling to believe that he has the power to be able to create what he wants. He's struggling to believe that he has all the tools, which he does have. Card number 1, this is the Magician. The Magician energy, that you do have everything that's required. He's struggling to manifest. He's struggling to believe that he can do it. He's struggling to believe that he can open that box and see what's inside. Struggling to open this heart center. So he's struggling to manifest. What else? Divine Masculine. What block and challenge is there? Solar plexus chakra, yeah, of course, and the crown chakra. There's a block within the chakra system of the body. Makes complete and utter sense. How can you, oh no, it's not how can you, it's very difficult to manifest if you're not connected to spirit, okay? The crown chakra is our space where we are, it's our first port where we're connected to spirit. It's as though the masculine just thinks that he can do this all on his own. He needs to open up for help. He needs to open up his energy center and align to spirit more. He also needs to work on his solar plexus chakra. The solar plexus chakra is our power center. How can you be a manifester if you're not feeling as though you're in your power? He doesn't feel as though he's in his power. Something has taken away his power, or he has taken away his own power. He's allowed somebody or something to take away his power, to make him feel as though he's not able to manifest what he truly wants in his life, as though all the doors are closed to him, where actually all the doors are open. He just has to put the key in the lock and turn the lock and see what happens. So there's some blocks here within the chakra system, within the masculine energy. For twin flames who know who their masculine energy is, and if you have higher self-permission to do it, which I'm sure you will do if he is your twin flame, but you always have to check you have higher self-permission before you do healing work on anybody. You can send some healing to their solar plexus, and you can send some healing to their crown chakra as well. I mean, to be honest, if the crown chakra and the solar plexus are both out of sync, then it may very well be that all of the chakras need a flush through with white light. It's interesting that today I'm wearing this yellow dress, which seems to very perfectly match this yellow on this card as well. Okay, so to manifest, remember as a woman as well, you have masculine energy. Okay, it's a mirroring that's going on. So again, if you're a woman that struggles to embody your own masculine energy, then you need to be going into your solar plexus energy. You need to be powering that up. I always imagine the solar plexus as sort of like this run-down battery in a lot of people, and myself from time to time. And it's like you're topping up the battery with gold light until that battery is at 100% and gleaming with gold. Put your hands onto your stomach. Allow the gold light to flow through your hands into your stomachs. Feel the battery powering up. And then step into I am, okay? I am powerful, I am confident, I am whatever you need to say to yourself. I am is claiming your divinity, okay? And the same with the crown chakra. It literally is about, again, it comes back to sweet surrender. Why do people close down their crown chakras? Or you can't really close down your crown chakra, but you can make it, you can shrivel it up. Not shrivel it up. I'm being shown it's interesting, I'm being shown like an old gnarled, what do they call it, prune, and prunes basically are where all the water's gone out of the fruit. So that's what it is. It's literally like you've dehydrated your crown chakra, you've allowed it to dry out. What plumps it up again is basically the flow of light into the body. So again, it's like control. The thing that stops the crown chakra from fully being open and allowing spirit in to manifest is to do with trying to control it, okay? And it's usually the mind. I'm trying to control this. I'm trying to work it out. I need to know what this person's going to say if I say this. What if? What if isn't going to, what if is going to lead you down blind alley after blind alley after blind alley? To get to where you need to be, divine masculine, you have to be able to surrender, expose the heart chakra. And what I mean by that is expose what's in your heart, let it out. I'm surprised I haven't got the communication card here, but so far it hasn't come out. Let's just pull one more for the masculine. So I'm just interested, let's just have a 4, because we're in a year of 4, 2020 adds to 4. So one more block, please. No, guidance, please, for the divine masculine. We can see that there's a blocked solar plexus. We can see there's a blocked crown chakra. We can see that he is struggling to manifest. What can help this situation? What can help the divine masculine at this time? Okay, we've got 2 cards that came out. Choosing your battles and refusing to see. Just breathe is on the bottom of the pack a lot as well. I'm sort of not feeling those cards, actually. I'm sort of wanting to pull another card, because this is just telling us what we know, that he's refusing to see something. He's refusing to see that he is the manifester. He's refusing to see that he is connected to the bright light above the crown, okay? Choose your battles. This is still problems, okay? This is sort of like, I don't know how to get from A to Z, okay? Interesting, I was talking about mountains, wasn't I? And the divine feminine being on the summit of the mountain, waiting, effectively, but not pausing her life. It's just like she's breathing in the beautiful scenery. She's having a great time up there, sort of. This reminds me of the heads on, is it Mount Rushmore, you know, where you've got the faces carved into the mountains of the presidents, and it's like, I'm down here and it's like, how the hell do I get to the top of these mountains? Look at all these amazing, you know, figures in the mountains. It's like I can see faces in the mountains. I don't know how to navigate this. So that's still problems, which isn't really what I asked. Maybe we've just got the answer, which is just breathe. You know, just breathe. Breathe, relax. Look how peaceful that is. Just breathe. Let go of the head, trying to control it all, the mind trying to control it in. Breathe and step into being there. Okay, let's see where the divine feminine's blocks are. I'm just going to light my incense, which has gone out. I love the smell of incense. So let's put that on. Yeah. I'm just going to have some water as well before we do the divine feminine. So what's the question? The question is, what are the blocks for the divine feminine? She'll have some. Let's see. What blocks does the divine feminine have at this time? Areas that she needs to be working on and healing. Divine feminine. I always find that card extremely confusing. And I never ever know how to read that card. Seek the truth. I've got the card of new vitality. New vitality. So new vitality coming up as a challenge. Feeling, you know, on a bad day, a little bit defeated in terms of physical energy. I take that to be physical energy. Maintaining an optimistic, positive stance, you know, colours of the rainbow, believing in the rainbow, okay? The rainbow has the pot of gold at the end of it. I'm believing in the rainbow, but, you know, I don't understand this card. And I'm not actually going to force that card, because I have that problem every time with that card. I don't know. It's fine to say sometimes you don't get cards in particular decks, so it'll probably come out again now I've said that, but let's just see. I mean, seek the truth. I guess it's to do with going inner, going more and more inner, you know, whatever it is you're meant to be working on. Maybe you're meant to be working more in terms of your vitality, looking after yourself, looking after your own energy body. Let's just see what else there we get. Any other block, please, for the divine feminine at this time? Blossom. Yeah, there's something here, isn't there? Blossom and new vitality. These are blocks. She's struggling to bloom. She's struggling to bloom. If we go back to this analogy of like Sleeping Beauty, well, Sleeping Beauty really totally blooms, obviously, when she's being kissed and woken up again. So it's almost this thing about, but the thing is, you can't wait for that. You can't wait for that. You've got to live your life. So there's this thing about you need to learn how to blossom and feel really as vital and alive as you possibly can, with or without them. Okay, that's the lesson at the moment for the divine feminine. Interestingly, both are mirroring each other. The masculine is struggling to manifest and the feminine is struggling to, I mean, in a way, that's quite a card of manifestation as well. It's creating something. It's to blossom is to make something more abundant, more beautiful. And it makes sense because in the middle of it all, we've got the void, this emptiness, this feeling of emptiness, which is for both people. So if there's an emptiness in terms of the connection and like, I'm just feeling unfulfilled and lonely because you're not here, or if you are here, there's, we've hit the buffers, it's like there's a bit of a dark night of the soul type energy going on here. Well, is it any wonder that the struggle is to bring this to being? Just wondering what question to ask, guys. Let's ask about outlook. What's the outlook? Yeah. Believe and succeed is the outlook. We've also got move. To me, that's a card that's very much linked into union. Hand fasting. Let's have 4 cards from this deck. Outlook. Believe and succeed. Rest and reconsider. One more. Ooh. Look at that. Okay, 5 have come out. I'm smiling because look at that's come out. Well-deserved reward. Look who's standing on top of the mountain. It's the divine masculine. He's made it. Having said that, because that's good. I mean, these are good cards, actually. Outcome, believe and succeed. You can do it. You can do it. You can get to this place of, this is union. This is the hand fasting energy. This is betrothal. This is long-term commitment to each other. This is a rebinding towards each other. Anyone who's ever been in a hand fasting ceremony knows that, it's to do with, it's like a marriage ceremony. It's binding me to you. It's almost like retaking your vows with this person that you've been separate from, or this person that you're living with that you've started to feel separated from. Okay, it's like a retaking of the vows. I am yours and you are mine. We are we, Believe and succeed that this is possible. And it's possible because the divine masculine does get to that summit. Okay, and look how proud he looks of himself, really proud of himself. And I tell you, the other thing that strikes me about that is it feels as though he does it by getting into his solar plexus energy. Look at that, the yellow right behind him. It's like he does it by believing he can do it. Believe it and you can do it. Believe and you succeed. But there is also at the moment quite a dreamy energy. Okay, rest and reconsider and daydreams and decisions. So there's a bit of, this is a bit of sort of, well, rest and reconsider is just what it says it is, which is that, to put it this way, to climb to a top of a mountain, and Metatron's saying a lot of people are making molehills out of mountains. Okay, so the mountain isn't as big as you think it is anyway. You need to be well equipped. You need to be rested. You need to be properly nourished. You need to sleep. You need some time out. You don't run to the top of a mountain. In fact, look at him. He's sitting on a mountain. He's pausing on the mountain. He knows that the journey is worth it. He's having to rest. And there's no judgment on that. And this daydreams and decisions card, Am I going to bring what I have been thinking of, what I wish for, what is my dream, into reality? Am I going to make a decision on this and make this true? What is showing here is that for some, the answer is a definite yes. There's 2 sevens, 7, 7, and there's 2 nines, 9, 9. Okay, so we've got 99, we've got 77, both master number frequencies. And we've also got the frequency of 6, which is the energy of love. So there's like spirit all over this. All over this. So I think that's probably a good place to leave it, actually. Let's just... Although there was something I wanted to say about the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra hasn't shown up, actually. Let me just spray the sacral, because there's something going on in terms of awakening the sacral centre. The sacral chakra is where our wishes and our dreams come from, you see. What am I asking? I'm not asking anything. I'm surrendering, actually. I'm surrendering this part of the reading. Hi, battery died. I'm actually going to end this, not with any more cards, because I actually think that it's complete what I have said. But I'd like to just read the channeled words that came through with this tangerine blush sacral energy, because I feel it ends the video on a healing note, and it also feels as though it's a call to action. So I'm going to respray the spray. These are the colours that you're linking into. So you're pulling those down into your sacral chakra, whether you're masculine or feminine, and of course you're both anyway. And let's just listen to the words that came through from Archangel Metatron, okay? And let this be a call to action, healing, and anything else you wish it to be. It's just a short little passage. It says, do you dare to dream? And if so, do you dare to dream big? Tangerine blush opens us up to embracing life as the adventure it is, bringing energetic colour to our cheeks of exhilaration and encouraging us to try something new, create something different, travel to new places, embrace new concepts and ideas, and not allow past wounding or present difficulties to hold us back. Acknowledging that into every life a little rain shall fall, it also reminds you, so too will the sun rise again, and that each day we have is precious, and to make of it what we can, despite what we may be faced with. To not lose sight of how it feels to be truly alive, to have life excite you once more, for passions to be reignited and the energy of enchantment and miracle stirred within you. Don't think that that is possible. You may feel as though life is passing you by, that duty, commitments and work are preventing you from expressing who you really are in this incarnation. And yet it is never too late. There are always doorways of birth open to you in every moment, be it via new thought forms, activities, priorities or goals. For the sacral chakra is the birthplace of anything new. Tangerine blush's energy invites you back to dance with life, to be at one with its rhythm that can bring new opportunity and experience into every day. It helps stimulate appetite for new things, new people, new tastes, new sounds, whilst also deepening connection to all that is good and still fertile in your life. It reminds you that the universe is bountiful and wishes to work with you, not against you, helping to heal any trauma or memory held within the sacral that blocks joy and the belief that you can do or be anything you set your mind to. Holding the codes of both sunrise and sunset in its colours, it helps you focus on the day at hand, not where you once were, but what you can be now. And that and today, and that which can be built on tomorrow. You are not what happened to you, not your story, not the pain of the past. You are God's expression here on earth, and the world was meant to be your oyster. A youthful elixir that wakens up dormant desires, rekindles lost dreams, and ignites the spark again to step into being the powerful manifester that you actually are. Manifesting from a fifth dimensional place, Archangel Metatron helps you to bring towards you that which is desired according to divine time, place, and need. In 5D, we create not just for ourselves, but our tribe. We know that the creation of happiness, satisfaction, and joy aids the frequency upon this planet that we call home. Never selfish or about greed, Tangerine Blush helps dreams, plans, ideas, and goals to flourish when seeded in love. The dual colours of deep pink and tangerine within this energy help to uplift and bring a smile on the greyest of days. To not just see the beauty in the world, but to feel it. Use Tangerine Blush to orchestrate the journey you seek, the energies you need, and to remember that life is the soul's great joy. Allow it to leap, have fun, and fly. Oh my God, I wrote those words, but the thing is, I'm just the channel. Metatron gives me the words, and I reread them sometimes, and I think, oh my God, how beautiful are they? And I love the fact that the last line says, allow it to leap. It says, use Tangerine Blush to orchestrate the journey you seek, the energies that you need, and to remember that life is the soul's great joy. Allow it to leap, have fun, and fly. We're back to John again. You know, it's like John Denver. It's just like fly free. Sweet surrender. Oh, you see, to me, of all the Heart Squad that I shouldn't ever put any of them above each other because I love all of them. I love all of the Heart Squad that I channel. I truly do. Somebody actually said to me yesterday on Facebook, they said, oh yeah, they're like your boys. And I thought, yeah, they are. It's literally like, you know, it's beautiful. But the point is, something about John Denver's energy cracked open my heart the last couple of weeks in a way that has just been so beautiful and so profound. He got in there. His music, his songs just got in there. And it's stamped all over this reading, really. So I think I'll call this Sweet Surrender. I hope you got something from that. And I hope there's enough there for you to work on. I think overall it feels very positive. It feels as though it just feels great. It feels positive. But yeah, there's work to do. There's always going to be work to do. So for the Divine Masculine, remember it's to do with working on the solar plexus, the crown chakra, opening up to spirit, believing that you can manifest, remembering that he's a bit like the spider in terms of dream time, making that web, weaving his way back to you. He's also the loyal dog, you know, that is loyal in all seriousness. You know, the thing about twin flames is there is a loyalty there. There is an integrity there. These aren't people that are players. They're not players. It's to do with unconditional love. And then for the Divine Feminine, yeah, she needs to work on getting her mojo back, I would say, here, you know, with this blossom and new vitality energy being a block. And also remember what I said earlier in terms of the sacral energy, there's awakening of dormant desires, definitely. There's a waking of dormant desires, there's a waking of sensuality and sexuality. And that's good because then she is able to embody her divine feminine goddess type energy, which of course, who can resist that? You know? But it's like, and it's the whole thing is divinely protected. So yeah, hope you got something from that. Much love to everybody. I'm going to get this uploaded now and then get on with my day. It's a Saturday here. Okay, much love to everybody. Take care of you. Bye-bye for now.